Hi, this is Eric Martin with Board Game Geek. I'll be looking today at Adventureland, or Abenteuerland, by famed design duo Wolfgang Kramer and Michael Kiesling. And this is published by Haba, of all people. Normally, the Kramer-Kiesling duo are not seen with Haba. So what's going on here? How did these two mesh together? Famed children's publisher, famed design duo. How do they mix? Here are the components in Adventureland, which is for 2 to 4 players, where you start with your adventurers in the northwest quadrant of the board, and you travel south and east as the game progresses in order to pick up herbs and swords, meet companions, fight monsters, and collect gold, preferably avoiding the sea sprites while doing so. You do all these things to score points, as you might gather from the score track going around the board, and whoever has the most points wins. The points that you'll score will differ depending on which of the 3 adventures you choose to play. They determine when and how and for what you're going to score. Okay, the basics of the game stay the same no matter which adventure you're playing. You set up by revealing 8 cards, you place the appropriate items and the coordinates that are shown on the cards. For each fog monster revealed, you turn over an extra card, the same as you do during the game. On a turn, you reveal 2 cards, you place the items in the appropriate places, and then you move one of your adventurers as many spaces as you want, either south or east. And if you land on something, herbs, you're going to pick it up. Sword, you're going to pick it up and put it in front of you. You can look what's on this, but no one else can. Herbs have a value 2 to 4. The swords show a sword, duh, and they might show a number 1, 2, or 3. Okay, if you meet up with a companion, you just hang out with that character. Okay, moving with that character for the rest of the game, as long as you're still alive. Okay, so the next player goes, you reveal gold in the river. The sea sprite moves along the river to the new gold, killing any adventurers or companions that are in there. So gold is good to get, but don't hang out in the river. So H1 for herbs. Okay. Instead of moving one adventurer as many spaces as you want, you can choose to move 2 adventurers 1 space each. So I can collect this herb here, and I can move someone else out just to start them across the board. Okay. Next player goes. H4, we got a monster. And we reveal a 2 cards still, 1 bonus card for each monster. A4 for herbs. I'm already on this space. If I'm green, I get this automatically, no matter who revealed that. And we get swords in D3. Okay. As the game progresses, you're going to slowly get bands of people moving across the board. Maybe you pick up swords with this guy, and then you come down here and you pick up a companion, and eventually you come around and want to fight a monster. Okay. When you do that, the monster's strength is shown in red. Each adventurer or companion counts as 1. You determine how many swords you want to commit to combat, and you show them. For each sword you reveal, you get to roll a die and add that total to what you have there. So I've got 2 people plus 8 plus 2 more for the number on the sword. Okay. 8, 2, 2, that's 12, so I take this. And I get 6 points or 12 points depending on the adventurer that we have. Gold comes into play because you can spend 1 gold to add 1 to your score or to re-roll a die. So if I didn't have the 2 here and I needed 2 more points, maybe I spend the gold, re-roll this, and I failed. If you fail, your adventurer and companions are all eaten by the monster and removed from play. Okay. If you have herbs, you can add the value of the herbs to the total that you have in your combat. Okay, so first you commit people, you commit swords, you roll the dice, you can re-roll by spending gold or add 1 to the total, and spend herbs just to add to the total. Okay. You continue playing, taking turns, moving across the board, possibly bumping into the southeast corner, and then you can't move anymore. As you move, you can jump over other adventurers, but you can't jump over the sea sprite or the monsters, because of course they're malicious and would kill you. Okay. You continue play until all the swords and all the companions have been put on the board. And when that happens, the game ends. And you either see who wins immediately because you've been scoring points during the game if you're playing Adventure 1, or you tally up your points and see who wins then. And there's a run through of Adventureland, which I played 3 times now on a press copy from Haba, twice with 4 players and once with 2, and twice on Adventure 1 and once on Adventure 2. I haven't explored every combination yet, but want to talk about the game anyway. The adventures are kind of interesting because the first one is definitely not a family game. It's not what you would expect because all the points are scored during the game, and the game ends and you already know who wins. All right, so you're keeping track of that as the game progresses. You're scoring 2 points for each gold. You score the laurel value for each monster you take, and for each time you pick up a companion, it's worth as many points as the number of companions that are now in your group. So the first one is 1, next one's 2, next one 3, and so on. But each adventurer companion cluster is scored separately. All right. Adventure 2, you are now scoring twice the laurel value, so the combat value for monster. All the herbs you have are worth points at the end of the game. The swords are if they've got numbers on them. The gold is still worth 2. And you can now combine your adventurers together into larger clusters. And however many tokens are in that group, you score 3 times that number of points at the end of the game. All right. Still encouraged to kill things, but also form large groups. Okay. Adventure 3, you add in some majority elements to it, which sounds a little more Cromer and Kiesling, because whoever kills the most monsters gets 7 points added to their score, and the next player gets 3, and the next one gets 1. In addition, the gold works the same way, 7, 3, and 1 bonus for whoever gets the most of it. And you're also trying to occupy cities. So there's a city that has 12 spaces, there's one that's 6, 1, 5, 1, 4, 1, 3. And whoever has the most tokens in that, right, you add up your adventurers and companions, gets points equal to the size of the city. And the next player gets half that rounded down, half that, and half that. Okay. So now you're fighting for all these spaces in the city, in addition to majority and bonus, majority gold, and any adventurers and companions you have hanging outside cities at the end of the game. Well, you multiply them by the number of monsters not killed, and you lose that many points. So all 3 adventurers are just telling you, kill monsters, kill monsters, kill monsters. So you got to keep that in mind, right? Those fog monsters, they did you wrong. They've bad blood running between your family and theirs. You just want to wipe them out. And it's strange, the first couple times I played, the game lasted a lot less than I thought it would playing with 4 players. Right? I was building up all these resources, trying to do things, and then it's, oh, there's a couple of turns left. I can barely do anything. All these herbs, swords are worthless in the first adventure at the end of the game. You just have to go out there, get those monsters, right? And you learn that. You play differently, right? You progress. You learn from the adventures you're having in the land, which I suppose is what they want you to do, right? Go out there and explore Adventureland.